Hey there, multi-prep teachers. You know how professional development never seems to quite get to what we need? It's like, great idea, but how do I make this work when I have 3+ preps to juggle? That's exactly why I created the Simplify Your Preps Collective. It's a free Facebook group built just for teachers like you, where we share tips, resources, and real talk about making multi-prep teaching less overwhelming and more doable. Sound like your kind of space? Head to kristenmasick.com/collective and join us today. Let's simplify together. As a multi-prep teacher, breaks were always hard, mainly because during the week, during non-break times, I was always doing things all the time because I was so limited on time and there was just always something to be done. Anytime there was a break, I didn't allow myself to break because I was in the mode of getting things done. Today we're going to be talking about some things that you might be able to do during the break so that you are still doing things, or at least maybe fulfilling that need to get things done without having to actually get things done. We're not wasting our time, but we're going to be talking about ways that we can schedule your time and maybe some things that you can fill that break so that you don't spend your break planning for next semester. Because honestly, you don't need to have next semester completely planned out by the end of the break. Welcome to the Secondary Teacher Podcast, the podcast for middle and high school teachers juggling multiple preps to get the strategies to reduce overwhelm so that you don't have to choose between being an effective teacher and prioritizing important relationships. I'm your host, Kristen Masick, a 10-year high school engineering teacher, former middle school assistant principal, and teacher coach. Every week, we will discuss strategies, systems, and time-saving tips to help you not only survive but thrive as a multiple prep teacher. Today we're going to be talking about how to reflect and recharge and put together some planning for the next semester or for the rest of the school year, but making it simple so that you can do it over the holidays. And part of that planning is going to be planning to do things during the break that will actually allow you to recharge. We're going to start with the reflection piece. Now, coincidentally, I have a Teachers Pay Teachers product that is for students about how to reflect after the end of the school year, or I guess the end of the semester. So at this point in time, but I wanted to go over the questions that are on that because it's also a good thing that you can be doing for yourself. As you are going to be reflecting, I want you to think about a few different ways that you might be able to do this. But I would like you to specifically look at each prep individually as well as everything as a whole. Whether you need to spend some time, I love to time myself, mainly because I feel like I would fill things out a lot faster if I didn't have the time. When I time myself, usually, even if I set a timer for like 5 minutes, it really pushes me to continue to fill that time, and then you'll find that you will get some better responses. You'll be able to remember things more. You can start one of two different ways. So you can either do big picture or you could do each prep. But these are the questions that I want you to ask yourself, either about each individual prep or about the whole experience up to this point. My favorite part about this year was, so you can put, it could be your favorite part about last semester. It could be the entire school year. Sometimes that's a little bit hard to remember. But what was your favorite part? Think about each class individually, but also think about big picture. What was it that really made things tick? Now, to once again give yourself an additional challenge, you could put a timer on for 2 minutes and you could just write as much as you possibly can for 2 minutes, and it might be that you're reflecting more than one, but by having that timer, you will actually find that you'll go a little bit deeper and probably unearth like the main thing or the best thing that was this last semester or this last year. All right, next question. What did I learn about myself this year or last semester? And then we are going to be looking at your 3 biggest wins from this last semester. Now, this is going to be crucial when you're doing each prep individually, because sometimes it's hard to find your wins, especially if you are having a new class and it was just a struggle bus the whole way. But really focus on what were those 3 biggest wins. And then you're going to also focus on what were those 3 challenges that you experienced this year or this past semester for each prep and then overall. And then we have the next question, which is, what is the biggest lesson I learned that I want to take with me next year? And this can also be for next semester. If you're repeating this course, or even if you're just moving on and it's still a year-long course, what is something that you took away from that last semester that you can now put moving forward into next semester? And then what am I looking forward to the most next year? Those are the questions to ask for your reflection. Now, I'm going to also have you add a couple of other things. These questions are not included in the resource, but these are more for you as a teacher. I want you to also think about 3 to 5 protocols or procedures or things that went well, things that your students really enjoyed, that you really enjoyed, because those are the things that when you recognize those things, you can repurpose them and use them throughout next semester. You can choose how you want to do this. If you want to do it per prep or just overall, what were the 3 to 5 activities, protocols, whatever that went well, because you're going to want to repurpose and recycle that for the following year. Now, the next thing to look at is going to be setting goals. When it comes to setting goals, I would think more big picture on this one. You could choose to have a goal per prep, but I would suggest that you just have a goal that would encompass all of your preps or all of your teaching practice. And then make sure that you also are choosing a personal goal. Maybe it's a boundary goal. Maybe it's about how much time you want to spend planning and prepping so that you can spend time with your family. Think about a couple different goals, and you could go through the SMART, which is usually typically what we teach in school, but you could do a SMART goal, have it be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, in addition to the SMART goal, or just setting the goal in and of itself. Is once you figure out what your goal is, you need to have some action steps. You need to break it down. You can just come up with those, and it really does help to know where you're going to start, where you're going to be moving forward from here. If you are not sure exactly how to set those up, I find goblin.tools and their magic to-do list is really simple to use, and it does break down your to-do list. But you could put a goal in there and it would break down the steps or the different parts you would need to do to move forward. And then that's really what is going to help you progress through this next semester, this next year. However you set your goals, I find that setting those specific action steps is really what helps move the needle. Reflecting and setting goals during the break is a great way to spend your break, so you can feel like you are doing something without really doing something. So yes, you are kind of working, but it's not like you're grading. It's not like you're planning. Now, the next thing that I want you to think about is I want you to be deliberate and plan what you are going to be doing during your break. I wished that I would have read more earlier on, and I would also plan too much. And then once again, I would go through the cycle and pretty much throw it all out in the first couple of weeks. So really take some time. You will find that by allowing yourself to watch movies, to watch shows that you've missed out on, to go and do activities that you don't normally have time on, you will find that if you have an idea of maybe what you are going to be teaching, I mean, you know what classes you're teaching, you know what preps you have an idea of what units are coming up. You will find that by experiencing life, you are going to be able to make better connections and help students make those connections when you are teaching. Go ahead. Give yourself permission to go and do fun things. Go and do those things that you really wish that you had time throughout the school year, and use that to help connect with your students and also connect with your content. As a review from today, we talked about how to reflect, recharge, and then the planning, which the planning is more about how you're going to be using the break. So reflect on what went well, maybe what didn't go well this last semester. Do it for each prep, but then also do it overall. How are things going? And then give yourself a chance to recharge, do those things that you would like to do, those things that really just fill your cup, just are going to help you survive the rest of the school year, but allow those to also let you make connections to what you are going to be teaching coming up. Now, if today's episode was helpful to you, it could be for others. Make sure you share this and tag me at Kristen Masick, KhrstenMasic. Until next week.